All right. Good Friday to everyone. Good Erev Shabbos. I hope you're doing well. Continuing in our study of Rashi, we're going to see an interesting pasuk today in the sixth aliyah of this parsha of Mishpatim. Um, the parsha goes, from all the many mitzvahs which were discussed earlier on, which we spoke about in the first days of this week, to discussing actually the Chagim, to later in the parsha discussing the end of the story of Matan Torah itself. But smack in the middle of all those sections, we have our sixth aliyah, in which Hashem foreshadows just a little bit about what's to come in the future of the Jewish people's travels through the desert. And of course, we'd have to analyze it for longer to really understand why that comes here at this point in the parsha and what it's trying to tell us and all of that. But for the moment, we'll just take the pasuk at face value, that the Torah transitions out of the section about the Chagim to speaking about this foreshadowing of an event in the future. And Hashem says to Moshe, Hinei anochi sholeach malach lefanecha, lishmorcha baderach, velahaviacha al hamakom asher hachinoti. Hashem says, I'm going to send a malach in front of me to protect you along the way and to bring you, the Jewish people, to that place which I have prepared for you, which we imagine is Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim, the makom asher hachinoti. Now, on the surface, this seems like a beautiful promise. For us, any of us would be thankful to have Hashem send a malach to protect us along the way. But from the perspective of Moshe, from the perspective of Bnei Yisrael, still standing at the foot of Har Sinai, basking in the direct glory and revelation of Hashem, for Hashem to say he's going to send a malach instead of coming himself for the journey is actually a foreshadowing here, according to Rashi, about the future events of Parshas Kisisa, when the Jewish people will sin with the Chet HaEgel, and which Hashem will really come back to Moshe in much more detail and say, hey, I'm not in this for the journey. I'm going to forgive you, but I'm not coming along for the ride. I will send the malach. The malach will protect you guys. You'll continue along the way. I'm not pulling out the rug from under you. You're going to continue to the land of Israel, but I can't come in as direct fashion as I have been there for you after the Chet HaEgel. And Moshe says, no, I won't accept it. It can't happen. You have to come with us. The whole argument. Maybe we'll get to those Rashis when we get to that parsha. But for now, this is a foreshadowing. He's talking about the coming to the land of Israel, but he throws in the fact that he's going to send the malach to take us there. And Rashi says, "Kan nispasu she'atidin lachto." Here already it's foreshadowed the Jewish people will sin with the Chet HaEgel. V'shchina omeres lahem ki lo eleh b'kirbacha. And here we're being hinted to the fact that later in that story Hashem's going to say ki lo eleh b'kirbacha. As a result of your sin, I can't come amidst you. I can't come in your midst to take you to the land of Israel. Okay, that's the first part of the puzzle. The second part is the one that I would like to focus on. Hashem says whether he's coming or he's sending a malach, he's going to protect us along the way and take us to the makom asher hachinosi, to the place that I have prepared. Hachinosi, like from Hakana. So Rashi says, what's hachinosi? Asher zimanti latet lachem zeu pshuto. What is hachinosi? Rashi's sensing a problem in the word. It's definitely a word that in speaks of preparation, but it sounds like it's already prepared. Hachinosi is in the past. I'm going to take you to the place that I have already prepared in the past. So that raises an alarm for Rashi. Wait a second. Hashem didn't prepare this place yet. He didn't even take us there yet. So what does it mean that he prepared in the past? It means not that the place is physically prepared, but zimanti, I've reserved it for you. So now already in the past, since the time of Avraham Avinu, since the time of the creation of the world, whenever it was in the past, I've already designated and set aside and reserved that place, Yerushalayim, which is where I am going to take you. That's the reason why hachinosi here is in the past, because it's not talking about the actual preparation, it's talking about, or the actual building of that place, but it's talking about the reservation of that place, that setting aside of the place, which had happened in the past. That's pshuto. But now Rashi gives a second interpretation, which I think you'll find very interesting, especially if you've been on these Rashi shiurim for a couple of weeks. Umidrasho el hamakom asher hachinosi. The medrash, the homiletic interpretation of the past tense of achinosi is kvar mikomo mechuvan kenegdo. There is something, even physically or metaphysically, already prepared in that space. It's not just in the past because that's when I designated it for you. Achinosi is I've already done something aside from designating. I've already actually prepared something in that place. And what is it that I've prepared, says Rashi? Hashem is telling us that he already prepared a place in Shemayim that's mechuvan, that's directly aligned with that place where he will ultimately bring the Jewish people. This is one of the spots in the Torah where we derive a hint to the fact that there's a concept in Chazal, in the Torah and Hashem, of Yerushalayim Shel Mala, Yerushalayim Shel Mata being aligned. That God's throne above and God's throne on earth are aligned. That the Mikdash in Shemayim and the Mikdash below are aligned. That there's some correlation between them. So now, yes, Hashem hasn't prepared the earthly Yerushalayim or Mikdash yet. He hasn't taken them there yet. He's only promising now that he's going to take them there, but he's taking them there to that place, Asher Hachinosi, that I've already started to prepare from the past already, because I've already prepared the one that's Mechuvan Kenegdo, the one that's aligned with it in Shemayim. So it's partially there already. All I have to do is do the second half, which is the earthly half, which I will do when I take you there. That's the meaning of the past tense in this pasuk. Now, you'll remember that we actually saw one of the other instances in Mikra where there's a hint to the alignment of Yerushalayim Shel Mala, Yerushalayim Shel Mata, which Rashi is referring to here, the Kama Mikros. And this happened 2 weeks ago in Parshas Beshalach. In the end of the Shira, we had this pasuk, Tiviema v'sitaema bahar nachlascha, machon l'shivtecha pa'alta Hashem, mikdash Hashem, konenu yadeha. God is going to save us and take us to Har Nachlascha, the mountain of his nachala, of his inheritance, of his land. Machon l'shivtecha pa'alta Hashem. He's going to make a machon l'shivtecha. He's going to make a place for himself to dwell in this world. It's going to be the mikdash of Hashem, which was konenu Yadecha. This whole thing is also in the past tense. Machon l'shivtecha, konenu yadecha, pa'alta. All of it is in the past. Machon l'shivtecha, a place for you to sit. Pa'alta. You have already done. You've already established. You've already worked towards. Again, in the past, even though it's not built yet, even though it hasn't happened yet. Rashi here says the exact same thing as in our parsha. We saw this Rashi a couple of weeks ago. Machon l'shivtecha, pa'alta. Why is it in the past? Because mikdash shel mata mechuvan keneged kisa shel mala asher pa'alta. Because even though the earthly one is not established yet, the heavenly one is already established, and the two are aligned. So it's like the whole edifice of the Mikdash, the whole city of Yerushalayim is already partially there. It's already pa'alta. It's already half done, because Hashem did the one in the heavens. All we have to do is complete it by doing the one on earth. And the third instance in the Torah, I think these are only three that I know of, which Rashi is referring to, is in Vayetze. We did not do this Rashi, but as Yaakov is leaving to go to run away from Esav and go to Lavan's home, he stops in Beit El, wherever he is. Vayira vayomar mano raha makom hazeh. He's afraid, and he says, "How fearful is this place? Ein zekim beis Elokim. This is the house of God. V'zeh shar hashamayim. This is the gates to the heavens." What does that mean, gates to the heavens? Rashi says, "Makom tefila lalos tfilasam hashamayim." It's the gate where all of our tfilos rise to Hashem. But that's the simple meaning. But midrasho, the homily, is shebeis hamikdash shelaman mechuvan keneged shelamatan. The homiletic interpretation of Zeh Shar Shamayim, this is the gate to the heavens, is that this Yerushalayim is the gate to the Yerushalayim in the heavens, because they are mechuvan. They are aligned with one with the other. And of course, the final place, which is most famous for stating this idea, is the pasuk in Tehillim. Tehillim Kuf Chaf Beis, Yerushalayim habenuya ki ir shechubra la yachdav. Yerushalayim that's built up is kechubra la yachdav. There's a chibur. Now, one Mamar Chazal says that chibur is the chibur that's created amongst the Jews when we're in Yerushalayim. It's a place that coalesces us. It's a place that binds us together. But the other interpretation of Chazal of chubra is that we're mechubar to something else, which is the Yerushalayim Shel Mala, which is mechuvan kenegdo, which is aligned with it. So all of these sources are the ones that Rashi is pointing to in the Rashi in our parsha. When he says our pasuk, which is in the past, tells us that God already established part of Yerushalayim, it's the Yerushalayim Shel Mala, which is aligned with Yerushalayim Shel Mata, and it's in a couple of other places in Tanakh. Well, those couple other places are the ones I just showed you. And this paints a picture in all these different spots of the hints to the correlation of Yerushalayim Shel Mala and Yerushalayim Shel Mata, which leaves us with the incredible feeling that we are really connected to Hashem, that this world and the next world perhaps are closer than we imagine. through the establishment of Kedusha here in the world and the practice of mitzvahs here in the world, we close that gap and imagine ourselves not just in Yerushalayim, but everywhere to be mechuvan, to be connected up and aligned with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with his commandments, with his purpose and his goal, which is both a beautiful thought and a very elevating thought, and one hopefully that we can aspire to reach in our daily lives. And this Shabbos, which is a very happy one, wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and a Chodesh Tov, Marbin B'Simcha month, filled with a lot of good things. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
Shabbos.
everybody.